An ugly bird lands right next to a beautiful one. The beautiful one kills it with an ugly punch. Go! An ordinary young adult prepares to go to a job interview while lamenting that beautiful people have a much better time, while ugly or ordinary people have a much worse time. As she walks past the living room, she hears a newscast announcing a new rule from the beautiful queen, which forbids ugly people from walking the streets. Yes, as you heard, Go ignores the TV. As he prepares to leave, he tells his younger sister, Ming, not to go out. On his way to his interview, Go observes a police officer arresting an otaku who is trying to buy a new anime figure. He also observes a short, bald, fat man trying to evade the authorities. Apparently, this man is an oddity within the 3-star class ugly. Yes, in this world they grade people, and a lot of it, you're about to find out. This guy has been evading capture for 5 months. The officers are given permission to shoot with their guns. After being beaten by the police, the man is charged with the crime of being ugly. His punishment is life imprisonment, confiscation of all his property, and a ban on ever looking in the mirror again. A young couple mocks the man for being ugly, and at the same time, a mother warns her son never to leave the house. A crowd forms around the ugly man, and they start shouting lots and lots of things at him. All ugly, obviously. Go watches all this with disgust. Go comes out of his trance and is informed that he passed the interview. His celebration is short-lived because he has only been hired for a 90-day probationary period. On the other hand, Cha, his supervisor, has suddenly been promoted through the media, and this is because of her beauty. Go is depressed. One afternoon he calls Nago at the office, where Cha reprimands him for being so ugly that 2 of his customers cancelled their orders. On top of that, he wears the most expensive suit and hairstyle he can to be as pretty as possible, but Cha tells him to shut up. She orders him to get down on his knees and raises his knee. When he looks up, Cha stares him in the eyes, causing him to back away. Cha continues to insult him, saying that he gets depressed just looking at his ugly face. To top it all off, he wishes aloud that all ugly people would die. After work, Go lifts a large number of boxes at Cha's behest. When he asks her why he has to take time off after work for this, she tells him to stop talking back to her and to help her move and clean her house. Go does as he is told and starts with the mountain of dishes that have piled up in the sink before moving on to mopping. While Cha takes a relaxing bath, she orders him to clean his house and to clean his room after he finishes his laundry. When she comes out of the bathroom, she also tells him to clean her bathroom and not to look at her. Go walks past her so he can clean the bathroom, but accidentally steps on her toes. Exhausted physically and mentally, Go staggers back to his house. When he arrives, Meg holds up a sheet of paper and asks him when he can leave. Go takes pity on his sister and hugs her. Something has to change, and he promises her that one day she will be able to walk the streets with pride. The next day, Go wakes up and heads to work, where the most beautiful people have priority seating. Even at crosswalks, the most attractive people are allowed to walk first. While waiting for her turn, the beauty queen delivers a surprise. The transmission is activated. Several fainted just looking at her beauty. The queen reveals that several criminals have been caught trying to alter her appearance through surgery. Their execution by shooting is shown publicly. The queen reminds everyone that they do not attempt to change their appearance in any way, as they are not allowed to do so. Yes, as you heard, you were born ugly, and bye-bye. You can't do surgery. You can do absolutely nothing. Go paces around the office and is forced to humiliate himself in front of Cha as punishment for ignoring his call. While Go is already doing face down, Cha brutally reprimands him for being ugly and tells him that he should recognize his place. When Go returns home, he finds a small voucher tucked under the door. When he enters, he notices that Ming has not come out to greet him. She refuses to leave her room. The next day, Ghost follows the instructions on the voucher and heads to the restroom in a public park. He arrives at the designated stall, but upon inspecting every nook and cranny of the stall, he finds nothing. Remembering the keyword sewer, a panel hidden beneath their feet slides away, dropping them several stories below the ground. After getting up, Ghost wanders through the darkness of the sewers. Suddenly, he collides with an invisible wall and highly advanced cameras begin to scan him. After confirming that he is ugly and has a voucher, he is thrown down another series of tubes, ends up on a separate floor, and meets a man named Dr. Machete. He assumes that by coming here, Ghost agreed to volunteer. Without waiting for his response, robotic hands sprout from his back so he can begin the experiment. Ghost is locked in a large metal contraption. Suddenly, police officers find his laboratory and arrest him for endangering national security. Machete presses a button that collapses the ceiling to buy some time. Machete mutters that it is now up to Go to return the world to what it was. As the smoke disperses and the dust settles, the capsule opens. Agents and police officers pullulate through the capsule with their cameras in hand. When a woman begins to approach them, the officers' beauty detectors suddenly go out of control. Only the beauty queen herself possesses a 5-star beauty rating. The girl is so dazzling that the officers physically flinch and fall to the ground, dropping their cameras in the process. The girl, who turns out to be Go, looks into a broken mirror and realizes that she has become a girl. Enveloped by a radiant aura, Go leaves the ruins of the lab and returns to the surface through a manhole cover. Go finds herself in the middle of a busy intersection where half the people fall in love and all bow in adoration. Everyone meets her every need, and Go suddenly finds herself armed with new clothes. Go walks into her old office building and applies for a job. The human resources manager hires her on the spot and is instantly named the new CEO of Red, a technology company. As an added bonus, she receives a spacious new office, and for the first time, Go feels the benefits of being an attractive person. As she enjoys her new life, she requests that the head of the department make an appearance. Cha politely enters the room and enthusiastically offers his services to Go. He asks her to kneel on the floor and touch the floor with her forehead. Go hopes this will help him out of the way. Here we are revealed that Cha likes to be humiliated, but only by beautiful people. She asks Go to humiliate her even more, and gets too excited for Go's liking. Cha agrees to do whatever Go asks of her, based solely on her beauty. Go feels quite uneasy because apparently she can do whatever she wants just because she looks good. But to Cha, that's the norm. After all, beautiful people make a beautiful world. Cha exclaims that Go's beauty is so great that she could possibly join the beauty guard, the queen's elite circle. Go, realizing the potential she could exercise as a beauty guard, decides to go to that extent to improve Meng's life. The 4 beauties gods learn about the appearance of a 5-star beauty. However, they do not seem to care in the least and decide not to inform the queen of this incident. The next morning, Go sees on a newscast about a negative name of a starlet who voluntarily turned herself into the authorities and is now the second best-selling Italian among 2,000 beauties. Subsequently, the recent influx of arrests of ugly people has put immense pressure on the prison system, causing some to entertain the idea of executing the ugliest prisoners. Cha asks Go why he has ordered 2-star beauties to clean the toilets, and she replies that it's all an elaborate act to keep ugly people out of sight. Cha appreciates this stroke of genius, which he believes will eventually drive all ugly people to extinction. Go discovers that Cha thinks all beautiful people are smart, while all ugly people are stupid. To her, that makes sense. Go whispers in her ear that someday he will make her feel the same humiliation, which is enough to make his knees shake. Before leaving, Go asks for information on how to get to Ugly Gate Prison. Translation: Ugly Gate. Cha takes Go to a government data center, but warns him that only the queen has the authority to enter top-secret data rooms. He hopes Go's beauty will be enough to win over the staff. Go goes through textbook after textbook, trying to discover more about the prison, and learns about a device called the aesthetic seismograph. Suddenly, the power goes out. Rushing to the rooftop, she and Cha discover a woman dressed in an elegant white cloak. She identifies her as one of the 4 guardians of beauty, the pink petal, Lord Bricht. Bricht asks her if she was the one who sent the 2,000 2-star beauties to clean the baths, and in response, Go asks if she knows about the aesthetic seismograph. Bricht's tone suddenly changes because Go is not supposed to know anything about the seismograph, which means she must be destroyed. Bricht teases that Go is a little prettier than average and that she shouldn't get ahead of herself. Bricht removes her cape and activates a set of aesthetics detecting drones that streak through the skies. She explains that these robots, designed and approved by the beauty queen herself, will scan the beauty of both parties, judge it, and destroy the lesser beauty. Go is rated as a 4-star beauty, but Bricht is a 4.5-star beauty, so she falls down laughing and says that her beauty is practically unmatched. Go's fate is seemingly sealed, but suddenly her drones shut down. Bricht, confused, turns around and sees that she has already unplugged her console. Without her light, Bricht's beauty plummets to 1.5 stars, making her a target for their drones. So the drones shoot her dead, transforming her into a quarter of what appears to be some sort of emblem. Go picks up the emblem piece and decides to head for Oligate's pressure. That night, the remaining 3 nights, they discover Bricht's defeat, but all agree that she was the weakest among them. However, now that Go has become their enemy, everyone makes their own preparations to eliminate her in the name of the Beauty Queen. At Ugly Gate Prison, the prisoners suffer from boo. They are fed little and forced to work carrying huge blocks of stone. The prisoners are constantly reminded that their sin of being ugly is an incredibly serious crime. Their very births were a mistake. A young boy asks his grandfather when they can get out, but he replies that they have no choice but to stay here forever. Go attacks Ugly Gate Prison using the same drones that Bricht once used. Go breaks through the guards and demands that the prisoners be released immediately. When the guards refuse, they shoot him. Go enters the main prison tower in hopes of freeing all the prisoners. However, before she can press the button, one of the 4 beautiful knights interrupts her, and they ask, Go why? Despite her beauty, she insists on doing these useless things. Dressed in flower petals, she introduces herself as May, one of the 4 beauty knights. She reminds Go that the beauty queen has decreed that it is illegal to release ugly prisoners. Therefore, Go will be put on trial. Go uses the device Bricht left behind and uses it to transform her outfit into a much more beautiful and elegant dress. The entire budget of the show went into this transaction. Beauty detectors fly out of their cases and rate Go's beauty with 5.3 stars. May, on the other hand, registers a mere 2.5 stars. However, as the only male among the 4 beauty guards, May reminds her that the most beautiful creatures on Earth will always be men. May also changes her attire to suit her needs and dresses in a variety of flowers. Despite this, her beauty rank remains below Go's. Go scoffs at her failure at first, but is suddenly overwhelmed by a pungent stench. This is May's special grapefruit flower, designed to give off a repulsive scent, due to which Go is forced to hold his nose. Her beauty ranking takes a big hit. Suddenly, she's on the defensive. Go thinks fast and throws some flour into May's eyes. Now forced to squint and steal her face, her beauty is left behind Go's. With her death about to be a certainty, May surrenders and begs for mercy, which causes the guns to fall back. May promises to follow Go from now on, which satisfies her. May reveals that the beauty queen intends to maintain the iron-fisted world order of beauty, with attractive people at the top of the social strata. Under this system, beautiful people will have all the power. Cha finally catches up to make sure Go is okay. Go says she is fine and will go as soon as she releases the ugly people. However, before she can press the button, Cha surprisingly stops her. Go tries to break free from Cha's grip, reasoning that now is her best chance to let all the ugly people go. However, Cha resists, believing that it is best for the ugly people to remain locked in their cages. Go responds that the people were just unlucky in being ugly and don't deserve to be treated that way. They are just ugly and have done nothing to justify the bullying and abu they receive. Cha responds that there should be nothing wrong with how that works. Beautiful people are good and right by nature, so there is nothing wrong with weeding out the weeds of society. They get into a heated discussion about who is wrong or who is right, culminating in Cha begging Go not to destroy the society they have built so far. He wholeheartedly believes that the current status quo is the right one. However, because of the way the drones are rating beauty, Cha's actions are considered disobedience and target her. Go warns Cha that they are about to be killed, but Cha stands firm in her decision. If she is going to die for her beliefs, so be it. Go repeats his earlier intention to free the prisoners and asks Cha if she will obey his wishes. Cha stands firm. She refuses to tolerate it. A flashback of Cha flashes through Go's mind, from her side to Boo to her subordinate role as a servant. Go reminds her that he has always obeyed her, and Cha replies that she only obeys Beauty. With some of the harshest last words ever, Cha is annihilated by Beauty's drones, while Go and May watch in disbelief. Go angrily presses the button to release the ugly prisoners anyway. Alarm bells ring as the cell doors open to let the prisoners out to freedom. Go addresses them all from the courtyard. She urges them to eat whatever they want, do whatever they want, and live however they want. They are free. The entire prison erupts in stupendous applause and shouts, but things quickly take a turn for the worse. Chaos ensues when the prisoners start fighting over food and leftovers in the cafeteria. Several of them are shot dead by the beauty guards. The prisoners begin to fight and tear each other apart like animals. Those who are not killed immediately are trampled. A man who claims to be the ugliest of them declares himself king. The others quickly fall in line. Go is confused. She thought she had given them salvation. Mai explains that the ugly people know they have nothing left at home, so they have preferred to live among them, crushing those even uglier than them. Go is disgusted. It's no different at all from how beautiful people act. Suddenly he feels a doubt. Can this world really be changed? Mai hands Go her emblem pot, which serves as a badge of office for the Gentleman of Beauty. She tells Go that she needs the 4 pieces to be combined into one emblem, which will allow her access to the Beauty Queen's secret room. The answer he seeks may be hidden within. Go enlists Mai's help to gather the remaining 2 pieces, and she decides to change the world as we know it. 2 women on a street argue, and inevitably compete to see which beauty will triumph over the other. The Beauty Queen's aesthetic detector drones scan both women and kill the one whose beauty value is lower. At the same time, a newscast details Go's latest acquisition of 2 companies, the country's largest electricity and flower companies. Go's reputation soars, and she uses her platform to advocate for true beauty that is not just superficial. She proclaims that true beauty is on the inside. Her views are considered quite strange and specific. Mai is left alone at home. Go leaves a letter stating that he will be going on a business trip for a while, but promises that his house will be renovated while he is away. As Go bathes, he thinks about Dr. Machete and how similar his origin story is to Captain America's. Mai enters the bathroom and reports that she has 2 possible leads on the 2 remaining beauty knights. Go wants to make sure of the details before making any rash decisions. Mai asks him if he really intends to make enemies with the Beauty Queen. And Go replies yes, her determination is firm, she will change the world. She dismisses Mai and he obeys. Just before she leaves the room, she reflects that Go's current personality reminds her of the Beauty Queen 3 years ago. That night, as Go was preparing to sit down for a private dinner, she is suddenly attacked by 2 pieces of eyeliner. A new enemy approaches. A girl steps out of the shadows and introduces herself as Jing, one of the 4 beautiful knights. Go activates the light switch, giving her a full view of her opponent. Jing, armed with a strange box by her hip, orders Go to surrender to the Beauty Queen. Go welcomes the challenge. 3 aesthetic detectors come through the window and immediately target Jing. However, she retrieves the box on her hip, a makeup kit, and renews herself. This is her unique ability, the use of makeup to refine her own appearance in the blink of an eye. Jing is confident that she is much prettier than Go without makeup. That's precisely why she waited until Go was fresh out of the shower. The drones target Go and she tries to get the laser beams to hit Jing. Jing realizes her pitiful plan and tells her it's useless. The drone lasers are incredibly accurate and she can shoot. However, this was all part of Go's plan. Rolls under the table out of sight of the drones, with no one else to target. The drones aim their guns at Jing from a low angle. His appearance is that of a middle-aged man. Jing realizes she is hit and doesn't even bother to dodge. The laser hits and leaves nothing but her purse and emblem piece. Go picks up the emblem piece, but one is missing, the last of the 4 Knights of Beauty. He is almost saddened that even Jing has fallen. The Beauty Queen can no longer ignore the situation and demands to know who is eliminating her loyal knights. The last of the knights promises to know more about Go soon. A few days later, Mei informs Go that she has found the whereabouts of the last remaining knight, Val. Go intends to leave immediately. He heads for and through the entrance of a corporate building. Inside, the staff politely stands at attention, offering no praise or service. Mei finds the atmosphere a bit disconcerting and conveys these feelings to Go. Go also finds it strange. When they arrive at the receptionist reveals that she already knows why they are here. Val was expecting them. The receptionist takes them to an elevator in the lobby and directs them to the top floor, where they will meet Val. Go enters without any problem, but the receptionist prevents Mei from entering. Val gave strict instructions to allow only Go in. Surprisingly, Go tells Mei to comply and assures her that this will all be over soon. Go touches the button for the 80th floor, and Mei urges him to be careful. After what was undoubtedly about 10 minutes of travel, Go arrives at the 80th floor. Almost immediately, the elevator behind her slams shut, and a spotlight shines in the center of the room. Lord Val stands with his arms crossed in the center. Go demands that Val hand over the fragment of his key. When Val refuses, Go resorts to brute force, or rather beauty, taking it all away. Go begins her transformation into Sailor Moon and becomes a dazzling beauty. However, when Val turns around, Go is horrified to discover that her opponent is actually Little Mang. begin to accelerate their weapons, but Go intervenes and prevents them from firing. The drones retreat. Go asks Meng what she is doing here, confused that her sister was actually Lord Val all this time. Suddenly, Meng lashes out and writes on Go's face. Meng comments that he is here to kill her. Val reveals that his ability is to simulate faces he has seen in photographs. Thanks to a high-tech projector, Val can simulate any face she wants, making sure her beauty always comes through. When Go asks her how she found out about Meng, Val replies that it wasn't difficult. Go remodeled her house just for her, and she also knows that she gets 3 luxurious meals a day. Val restores her face to its original appearance, and she asks Go if she is ready to die. After removing her visor, the aesthetic detector drones compare her beauty to each other, and Go loses. However, before they can fire their lasers, 2 roses interrupt her simulator device, causing her face to quickly morph between faces she has seen in the past, and cast it into oblivion. Val drops the fragment of her key, ready for the taking. Meng saved the day just in time, and Go is glad to see it. Go asks Meng how he managed to get here, and he replies that he used the ventilation ducts. Meng takes the last key fragment and hands it to Go, completing the key. The Beauty Queen is now in his grasp. Go and Meng head to the Beauty Queen's castle, a picturesque fortress straight out of a theme park. Meng comments that 3 years ago, the castle was free to enter. Homeless people and beggars would come to beg, and the Beauty Queen would happily provide them with food and shelter. But something changed 3 years ago. The Beauty Queen suddenly wanted to do away with the current structure of society, and she briefly disappeared from public view. When she returned as the ruthless queen we now know, she wanted to execute her ministers, leaving only the 4 beautiful knights as her elite guards. No one, not even the 4 knights, know why the Beauty Queen suddenly became like this. Go asks if they have seen the Beauty Queen since then, but Meng replies that the queen keeps herself isolated in her castle. She only receives her orders remotely. The gate entrance contains a beauty filter, meant to keep out ugly people. Go and Meng pass through smoothly, with determination. Go and Meng climb the marble stairs of the outer castle. When they reach the courtyard, they discover a factory that continuously produces aesthetic detectors. Meng explains that the Beauty Queen is not only physically attractive, but also a genius. Everything in the castle from beauty filters to drones was designed by her. Moving on, they arrive at the castle's entrance gates. Meng is forced to stay behind as the filter will kill anyone who is not a 5-star beauty. Go walks without a word into the castle, and Meng begs him not to kill the Beauty Queen, but to help her. Go confidently walks straight to the reception hall, while the Beauty Queen stands by the throne with her back turned. She turns around and introduces herself as Queen number 149 of the Beauty's family, Piers. Piers looks at Go thinking that he is the person who killed his elite guards and freed the prisoners at Ugly Gate Prison. He didn't think the person who did all that was going to be so unimpressive. Go pulls out the key that she claims will open a secret room behind the throne. According to her research, this room is said to contain a device that can change people's hearts. Piers finds it strange that Go, despite possessing beauty that rivals hers, still chooses to do such a thing. Go claims that he is doing this to bring the world back to normal. Piers advises Go not to do that, but that won't stop Go. Aesthetic detector drones hover ominously around both of them, but because their beauty is in a pixel-perfect standoff, their motherboards explode. Go stares at Piers, but the queen's image suddenly flickers and disappears. She was an illusion all this time. Piers's voice echoes down the hall. She is everywhere, and has been waiting for this moment for a long time. Go, realizing his folly, runs out of the castle and rejoins May. A giant barrier appears around the castle and advances, immediately vaporizing those who do not live up to her standards of beauty, regardless of where they are or what they are doing. Ugly people are killed one after another. This is Piers's ultimate goal, a new world, free of ugliness. Piers assures Go that he will still be there. Go leaves the city streets to witness the destruction firsthand. A hologram of Piers appears over the city, happily announcing to his people that the beauty filter is finally complete. Currently the filter is only at first level, eliminating those who are 1-star beauties and below. However, he has every intention of increasing the levels until only the most beautiful individuals remain. As the wave sweeps over the city, Go rushes home to try to get Meng out of harm's way. A camera pans down and scans Go, but denies him entry. Go begs and pleads with Meng to open the door, warning him of the impending danger. She claims to be his brother, and rules him to come out. When the chamber refuses to let her in, Go uses Val's device to change her appearance to Meng's, and the vault door opens. Go rushes into the room, but discovers Pierce. The truth soon becomes clear. Meng is behind Pierce. Meng was the beauty queen all along. Meng certainly didn't expect her brother to become a beautiful girl, but stranger things have happened. She admits that she has done a lot of bad things as beauty queen, but she doesn't regret it in the least, as it's time to put an end to this charade. Go is still in denial. There is no way her kind younger sister can be Pierce. Meng growls that Go doesn't know anything about her. Go tries to convince her sister to accompany her, but Meng won't go anywhere. She will wait alone for the end to come. With the push of a button, a robotic arm throws Go out of the apartment. Confused Go asks Meng in vain why she is doing all this. As he crawls off the floor, Dr. Machete appears out of nowhere and orders him to bring the family key to the castle. Beneath the throne is the inventor's room, which has the power to fix all this. All of this has been for Go to succeed. Machete has transformed 10 people into beautiful people in an effort to restore the world. But so far, they have all chosen to use their appearance to represent tyranny. At this point, only Go can save the world. Machete gives him a small sample of real blood, which will fool the aesthetic detectors. Inside the lab, the truth will be revealed. Go, without saying a word, takes the blood sample and heads to the castle. Once there, she uses the familiar key on the throne, which takes her to a high-tech subway laboratory. In the center is a small console, and Go runs to it. At the same time, Meng welcomes her impending death with open arms. The beauty filter envelops Meng with its light. Just as Go inserts the blood sample into the console 3 years ago, a young Meng releases turtle hatchlings from a cage, but only because Queen Pierce promises not to tell anyone she's here. When Meng is asked why she is releasing turtles, Meng explains that they are often bought by collectors and released. She tells this to herself, as her brother also forbids her to leave the house because of her homely appearance. Pierce has seen beautiful people act ugly, and she has seen plain-looking people capable of incredible acts of kindness. She comments that the turtle is free because of Meng. However, Meng does not appreciate her words. She snarls that there is no way Pierce can understand how she and other ugly people feel, especially when she is hidden and pampered in her ivory tower. Meng, coming down, apologizes for her outburst. Pierce forgives her, and she takes her to his subway laboratory through the throne. Inside, Pierce shows Meng his aesthetic detectors, a device that protects the most attractive person in any discussion. He discarded the idea long ago, realizing it would take a very long time. They also show other devices that will later be used by the 4 gentlemen, all made by her, on a whim during the vacations. Her latest device stands out: the beauty film, which can beautify its user. Finally, he shows Meng a device that has been in his family for generations. The huge pillar-shaped structure known as the aesthetic seismograph has the power to control the magnetic core of the planet and change people's perceptions. She recounts that long ago, her ancestors lived in a world where money and height were worshipped, and that anyone with enough oratory talent could become king. Eventually, Pierce's great-great-grandmother decided that beauty was the world standard, and Pierce has been protecting the device ever since. All this time, Pierce has been asking whether what he was doing was right. Is beauty really the best standard by which to measure humanity? Surprisingly, however, Meng takes one of Pierce's inventions, the appearance gun, and aims it at the queen. Pierce transforms into Heihachi Mishima, whom we later meet as Dr. Machete. Meng throws the gun to the ground and destroys it, ensuring that Machete will never. Back to being Pierce. Meg revealed that she was lying about the turtles before, only blurting it out because they reminded her of her ugliness. She knows she is unattractive, untalented, and unintelligent. She believes the world we live in is unfair and rotten to the core. Beautiful people could never understand her struggles. Meg wants to be like Pierce, but Meg is tried to be reasoned with. She offers to find a way to beautify in the future. Meg responds that she wants to be beautiful now. Meg transforms into Pierce, and Pierce warns her that the device will stop working in 3 years. But by then, Meg claims that everyone will be dead along with her. Meg, now claiming the title of Queen Pierce, orders the other Pierces to disappear. A drone fires its laser at Pierce, but she manages to escape using a special remote control she had hidden. Meg has 3 years to live a beautiful life. As Pierce fucks in the body of a fighting game character, Go watches all these memories unfold. The truth of the world. The memories melt into a face of Pierce. Pierce admits that she was Mayate. At the same time, the same man who helped her become a beautiful woman. Go is worried about her sister, but Persele assures her that the time inside this space is separate from the outside world. Percy explains that they are inside the inner space of the seismograph, where their consciousness and the consciousness of their processors is stored. The blue blood he gave Go earlier opened access to it. Go asks how she can turn off the beauty filter, and Percy explains that all her devices run on the energy granted by the seismograph. The beauty filter that Meng started to develop on her own can now be stopped. Go asks how he can stop the filter from wiping out all non-beauty life, and Percy replies that there is only one way to reselect the beauty standards, there is no other alternative. Percy comments that he has been thinking for a long time about what the right standard for people should be. He has observed memories of his predecessors who had different answers to that question. Some loved height, some loved health, and some loved money. Different generations appreciate different aesthetics, and these standards are always changing. However, she discovered that there is one constant: the average citizen. She encourages Go to change the rules so that ordinary people become the new standard. But this will inevitably kill those who do not comply. She asks Go to choose. Go remains silent for a moment before declaring that he will make no choice. He detests this world, where beauty decides everything. She tried desperately to fight against this world and failed, but everything changed when she became beautiful. From her new position of power, she got people with high stars to do the work of people with low stars, and freed the prisoners of Obligate's prison. However, now that she knows she was wrong, she was already right. Beauty is not inherently bad. What's bad is using it as the ultimate standard of living. Go sees another way out of this. He destroys the seismograph completely. Percy in horror tells him to reconsider. Without the seismograph, his teams across the country and the world would cease to function. The world would fall into chaos, and Go himself could die. Go accepts his fate. Trust that even without drones to tell you the value of people, people will decide for themselves what their value is. Trustworthy people will no longer hide in shame. Everyone will have an equal chance to make a name for themselves. That world is enough. Go remembers that the whole drone has returned to the castle and asks them to aim at the seismograph. In a joint concert, the drones open fire on the device. Percy's lab explodes into pieces, while Go's body slowly crumbles. Percy slowly disappears and hopes that Go has made the right decision. The results are instantaneous. The village is saved. Machete transforms back into Percy, and Maying opens her eyes and finds that she is still alive. The seismograph is destroyed, but so is Go. In her last moments, she hopes that the world will turn out beautiful. She says goodbye to Maying for good. The castle is engulfed by a huge column of light as it is destroyed. The lightning can be seen from miles away. Maying, realizing that Go sacrificed himself, cries out in grief. 2 years pass, and the horrors of that day are immortalized in a memorial, and many pay their respects to the deceased. There is much clamor for the false Percy to be stopped soon. The real Percy returned to the castle, and officially repealed the beauty class law. Percy also holds a press conference for the first time in a long time. Later, after ruling out a meeting with his ministers, Percy asks May if she has found the culprit. May replies that she hasn't found him yet. Percy comments that they probably don't want to be found. Around the world, both ugly and attractive people live in peace, although many unattractive people have begun using video filters to change their appearance. Meanwhile, around the world, May has started living alone. The door behind her suddenly opens and a familiar voice calls out her name. And so ends this anime. Summarized.